So, what do you guys remember about last session?
We were, I think, going up to the castle, right? We had just.
Pretty sure we made it into the castle.
Did we make it into the
Mhm.
castle? And I mean, I was really tired by the end of that night. I was trying to hang on so hard. And Vaughn was really drunk.
In real life, not in the game.
Yeah. Not the, well, I mean, I think by extension, kind of the game.
No, he was totally 100% sober. None of the decisions he made were at all affected by my.
You're just eccentric.
Yeah, I just loved the part where you're talking to the old man in the barn, and then you're like trying to rough him up, and you're about to like hit him to try to get information, and you're like, "Who is the army that's in the forest?" And he's like, "It's your army." Oh man, I was just like, man, I was laughing at that like freaking 3 or 4 days later. Like it was so good.
So it's !R. And then. Man, I didn't forget what my attack with my character was.
You're using a longsword, aren't you?
Yeah.
So it'd be 1d8 plus whatever your modifiers are.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, guys.
So yeah, like basic recap to kind of like fill in any blanks. Like you guys made your way to Elgord's castle. You kind of mingled around with the sort of town folk and people hanging around the castle a little bit, and had some moments with some of them and everything. You meet the old guy in the barn who's really nice to you guys and kind of basically let you guys know that your forces were the ones that were about to invade and everything. And then you went into the actual castle keep and met Tangier, Elgort's sort of courtly assistant or whatever, and Elgort himself. And you kind of explored around there a little bit, and he showed you all the tapestries and stuff that were really important to him that kind of laid the story as to what happened on these grounds, like, so many ages ago. And then basically he went back into his courtroom, and all of a sudden all of you fell asleep. And so we pick up right now, and you were suddenly awake. You're suddenly awakened by Benedict. He's shaking you by the shoulders. He's like, get up, what happened? Are you three all right? And why don't you guys make some perception rolls to see if you can figure out what's going on. And that would be your d20s plus your perception.
Sorry, I have to open my app. I don't have my my notepad to work off the app.
Oops.
Are we recording tonight?
Technically, like Brian's little avatar there or whatever is kind of recording, and like I tried to do like 20 different things to get the fucking thing to work on my end, and it's just not happening. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to get new software or new hardware or what to finally be able to just record on my end, but it's just not working.
Boo.
Because that Discord bot that I used for last episode basically like fucked the audio up so much on my end, and then like it was just such a pain in the ass trying to sync it together. It's just pretty much going to be a lost episode there.
Oh dang.
Oops.
Oh wow. All right, so Enora, you're very astute in the things you notice. story notes here. All right, so Inward, you wake up and you see that that Benedict is shaking you. You're surprised that he actually asks if you are all right, and Locke, you kind of you notice that the big doors to Elgort's courtroom are closed, and like they were when you first came into the keep. So long ago, it seems. But you also look around and you notice that all the other doors are wide open, as if they were just like, carelessly gone through and just like left ajar as people fleed out of there very quickly. So you've got the door to the treasury and the door to the armory just open. And then Enora, you notice all these same things. You also notice that the tapestries that were right above where you were, laying down unconscious, those tapestries are all gone now. And Benedict says, all the other townsfolk outside are gone. What happened? Do you guys have any guesses?
I have no clue. We came in here, tried to talk to him, passed out.
All right,
Yeah.
and then he orders you, search the rooms. I'm going to get this bloody door open. And so, which rooms would you like to check out first? You got the armory, you got the treasury, you got the chapel.
I would have checked the treasury to see if anything's missing.
All right. And so, this room, basically, the armory and the treasury had like doors close to each other. The armory kind of, just went straight into the hall, into like the sort of flat area. The treasury had a door where it opened into stairs that went down into sort of a small cellar area. And so you go into the treasury, and this room is tight. Obviously, Elgor's not rolling in the cash there, and so you guys can't even stand shoulder to shoulder in this room. So you're all kind of just lumped in, kind of standing front to back, with each other and everything. And I'm guessing, Onora, you'd be the shortest of the three. You're trying to peer over the shoulders of the other two to kind of see what you can gather there. And
Well, actually, I was gonna have Locke go towards the armory.
okay, so you want to split up?
Yeah.
All right, so Enora, you're in the treasury, and I'll describe for you real quick what's going on in there. All you see in this really small room is a small chest, wide open. The lock is just sitting on the floor, and there's a few scattered coins, just gold and silver, kind of resting on the floor. There's actually still coins in the open chest, as if like somebody just went in there and just grabbed some handfuls of all they could get and then just bolted out as quickly as possible.
Okay, so it's clear early on that we're dealing with a robbery. There's the tapestry's missing. There's the treasury is pretty much emptied out. I mean, I can assume there was probably a lot of things and not just that chest in there. So we're investigating a robbery now.
All right. And so Inward, did you go into either of the rooms, or did you kind of stand around outside, or what were you doing?
I'm gonna stand in the hallway and wait to hear if I to see if there's any commotion coming from either room, and then I'll go into that room.
All right, and so Locke, you entered the armory, and this room, this is a rather small castle, and it's only about the size of a large modern bedroom. It's modestly equipped with about 24 sets of armor placed on sort of wooden busts, with heads on them. So you got the sort of cuirasses laid out on the busts, and then the helmets on the heads and stuff. And there's like an equivalent amount of weapons, sitting in their spaces on the walls and everything. And the armor and weapons are still largely in their places, except for you notice like one, very one set that is missing, and it's kind of in the forefront, like this was the most important set of this place. And it's a set of armor and a sword missing off of the stand for the sword. And it also looked as if when they grabbed this armor and this sword, they did it quickly, because they've also knocked over one mannequin on the ground, and then also some of the other pieces of armor sets and stuff were kind of shoved off to the side a little bit. And but yeah, other than that, the room is quite ordinary, and the weapons and armor that you see are kind of equal to the quality of your own.
Okay.
All right, and then so what do you guys do next?
All right. Well, after taking a cursory look around, not seeing too much out of order, Locke makes his way back into the center hall, and
Well, I'll meet there.
okay.
Maybe.
Makes note that, well, the armory is pretty much still intact, aside from
The
one set
treasury-
anyway.
Oh, the treasury is pretty much cleaned out. It looks like they were in a hurry and left some coins scattered about, but also, there are tapestries missing in here, so they definitely made out with a bunch of stuff. I wonder why they didn't take any weapons, though. That is quite curious.
Yeah, so maybe it could have been looters as opposed to people arming themselves, or like a call to arms or something. I kind of want to go check out the chapel to see if that book is still there, see if anything's changed from when I went into it before.
That's a really good idea. We should go check.
All right, are all three of you going into the chapel?
I'll go.
Yeah.
All right.
Locke will also go.
All right. Once you get in there, do a perception roll for me.
All of us?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll save you the time. I can't see shit. Oh, never mind.
Actually, you see quite a bit.
For the first time, he put his glasses on.
Oops. Got the exclamation point.
Well, some decent rolls from all of us, and I think we're all gonna have some information.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, maybe not all of us.
Well, at least the other two will be able to point out to you what you miss. So basically, you enter the chapel, and this room, for the most part, looks just about untouched. But you two quickly notice that there's one obvious thing missing, and that's the one odd altar that you noticed earlier, the one with the moon and the weird bowl in the center and everything. That altar is gone, and there's just some sort of flakes of wood that would have come from them, moving it and everything on the floor. But other than that, you can tell that they've pretty much did take quite a good bit of care moving it. And that's pretty much all there is in that room. What do you guys want to do next?
And sorry if this is a stupid question, but what was there before?
The altar, like when you first went into the chapel, there were several, dozen altars of like many different gods. And since this was a very kind of culturally mixed town with, goblins and humans living together, there were plenty of human gods, there were plenty of goblin gods and stuff, and there was one altar that was to an obvious like sort of elven god, and it was like had like a glowing moon sort of thing inlaid into it, and then also had this like weird iron sort of like bowl or chalice that was kind of set into it as well, and also was like seemed to be built in because you couldn't move it.
Okay.
And it was very, very old.
And so this is the thing that they took that, and it looks like it was removed with care. So unlike the treasure, this was carefully removed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so who all remains now? Like who's gone and who's here still?
So basically inside the keep with you guys is just you three, and then Benedict is like trying to break down the big door that goes into Elgort's courtroom. And you know, like you've heard him the whole time, you know, smacking it with his mace or his flail. He's been, you know, grabbing other, you know, instruments, anything he can, like axes and stuff out of the armory. He's trying to bust this door down.
Let's go help him kick that mother down.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
I think. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Well, lost my place here. All right. So, yeah, you enter back into the main hall. Benedict is still bashing on the door. And at this point, Burgess and Thelian come in, and they're kind of winded. You could tell they've been running around quite a bit out there. And Thelian goes, the stables have all been cleared out. Livestock and horses, they're all gone, including ours. And Callum is out looking for any sort of clues, and he's also looking for the horses. And so Benedict says back to Thelian there, that wretched snake. This is the work of that sarcastic devil girl. I know it is. I'm going to take great pleasure in killing her. And so basically, what do you guys do?
Which Deborah girl was it? This was that.
He's talking about that nice chick.
Who we met?
The girl that was she's a tiefling, and was the sort of the court's sort of jester and I guess kind of secretary.
Okay.
Advisor, however, whatever kind of role that this girl would be multitasking to do.
And at least we could talk more candid with her than we could with old Benedict over there.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so maybe he's the bitch.
Maybe a little trickster.
Yeah, true.
So would you guys want to try to continue helping to break down the door, or do you want to go outside and investigate?
I feel like, do we know why he's trying to break that door down like so hard? We can probably help it, like pick the lock, try to pick the lock or something. Doing Arrhenius proficient at that? I'm looking and I'm not, but
it's not like a locking mechanism that has this door shut. It's obviously like like barricaded shut, like shut with purpose. Everything.
Is there any way we can get around to like another way to get in?
I don't know. You could go and investigate.
Yeah, let's go investigate another way to get into this room. Seems important.
All right. Well, I guess roll an investigation check right here and look for any sort of clue.
All of us?
Might as well do all of you and help out your chances. Unless, like, you specifically want to, go off and do something on your own. You're free to do that as well.
I feel like I want to be there when Benedict confronts the girl, but as long as we're here with him, I don't think that'll happen when we're not there.
Oh, shit.
So is that your investigation roll, Honora?
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo!
Oh.
Sherlock Holmes over here.
So you're just sitting in the corner drooling, I think. Yeah.
By
Guys,
his
I found
amazing power of deduction, he notices that the door is shut.
Elementary, Watson.
Were you doing a roll inward, or was that yours with the 10 there?
I think that
Yeah, mine was the 10.
Oh, okay. So I'm sitting here waiting for nothing. Okay, so basically you guys have looked all around and you notice that there is no way of getting inside that door from in here.
Is it a wood
Guess
door?
we're doing it the old-fashioned way.
We're gonna,
Locke decides he's gonna
throw
go help
Edward
out.
in the window.
You're gonna what?
Locke
We're
decides
gonna
he's
throw
just
Edward
go-
in the window.
Well,
Locke's
there's
gonna
no
go help
windows
out.
into that room from here.
We're gonna throw him through the wall.
Like the Flintstones or something?
Yes.
So you guys,
Exactly.
okay. I guess
we're-
like make. Go ahead.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I was just being interrupting cow right now.
Oh, okay.
The Locke is
door
gonna go
wood?
help out to try and get the door open.
All right. So I guess roll a strength check.
If the door's wood, we could try to set it on fire. Who knows? It'd probably take forever, though.
Well, it might also kill anybody who's inside because of all the smoke.
Yeah, it would. Remember,
With
this
the
is a
straw
Mott and Bailey
house.
castle. This castle is built out of wood, so the door and everything
Oh,
else
yeah,
is made of
fuck.
wood.
I forgot.
Alrighty.
I'll go get a skill slot real quick.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Well, damn. Yeah, you are able to at least get a good axe throw, or I guess what you're using a sword, so you're able to poke a hole through it, and you can kind of like see in there now. And looking through the hole, you see Elgort just sitting at his desk at the end of the room, calmly, just awaiting his fate.
Wait, who's there?
Elgort.
Elgort. He's the
Oh,
it's like the
Yeah, he's the
Lord of the
Baron
castle, right?
of this castle.
Oh, Baron.
Yeah, Lord of the
Yeah.
castle.
awaiting
Did
his
you
fate.
just date rape us, you son of a bitch?
All right, and then inward, you got a 22. Okay, so y'all are putting some damage into this door. You've widened that hole a little bit now, and like it's now big enough to fit an arm in. And so, are you gonna stick your arm in and remove the thing
No, he's
holding the
gonna
door
put
shut?
my arm to sleep.
All right. So, yeah, you remove the blockage and enter the room, and then let me find where I lost my place here.
What's his name again? Elgor? Elgor, where's your pants, man?
Yeah, that's Elgort.
Elgor.
Man, I've really lost my place bad. It put me all the way back at the top. Okay, yeah, Elgort sits at his desk at the end of the room, and then now that you're in there, you notice that Lady Maxine is standing kind of just off to the side beside him, and
And
her
who
mace
is
and her shield are at the ready.
Lady Maxine? Have we met her
Lady
before?
Maxine was the other sort of knight of this order that was probably like one step below Benedict, and they had been kind of aggressive at each other. Like every time you've seen them talk and everything, they had a serious disagreement over something, and like kind of
Oh,
I'm sure you know why now. and yeah, and she was also the knight that is kind of in charge of the other person that you guys know were like sharing dreams with you and stuff. The Charlemagne. Man, my place again.
Do we confront her with a barrage of questions or a barrage of attacks? Because you said she's ready to attack.
I think questions first.
All right. So yeah, like so yeah, you all jump in. She's got her her mason shield at the ready, and she is no longer using her customary red shield. That is the you guys are in the order of red shields. She has taken one of the shields off of the wall with the Porter family crest on him. And before you guys say anything, Benedict walks in front of you and he says, "Well, I can't say I'm surprised to see you here, Maxine. Now we finally see where your loyalties lie. It seemed your fits of oh man, of course I erased like a whole sentence there.
Man,
What in the hell did I write? So
wing
your fits of incredulity seem to have made clear your intentions. And did it really? Yeah, I erased a whole paragraph on accident there. See if there's none. Of course not. Why would there be?
So how about that Iran deal? Am I right?
Yeah. Bro, I'm such a dork. I'm reading it. Rereading it, actually.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. I was able to recover it. All right, it seems like your fits of conscience weren't enough for you. Your insubordination wasn't enough either. No, you just had to take it all the way to treason.
Ooh, all the way.
And then Maxine responds, "You dare call me a traitor? Do you dispute this? You even discarded your red shield and knowingly attempt to thwart your master's orders. I, as well as our order, serve the Grand Duke," and she smacks her hand down on Elgord's desk. "Not that conniving jackal." And she's interrupted by Elgort. "Lady Maxine?" And he places his hand lightly on Maxine's to calm her. Then he turns his head back towards Benedict and Benedict, this night need not end in violence. No damage has been done save for my door. There's still a chance for you to walk away before things go too far. And Benedict walks towards the desk. And then all of a sudden, you hear a little girl screaming. And you notice that Callum has now entered the castle keep and is walking towards the room that you're all standing in with the little goblin girl, Gretchen. And he goes, "Master, look what I found." And Elgort shouts, "Let her go!" What do you do?
Could someone explain to me what the fuck is going on here?
So
I
you've
don't know, but
entered
I
the
want
room.
to save that little girl.
You've entered the
Why did you
room.
want the little girl?
Elgort is sitting down. Lady Maxine is standing beside him, ready to defend him.
No, I get that.
No, he's asking it.
He doesn't
as his
know.
character.
Locke doesn't know. That was in character.
So in character, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Maybe that sleeping sickness has still got me a little bit. Is this a dream?
Inward's gonna ask him, "What the hell business do you guys have with that little girl?"
She's going to tell us, or she's going to give us. Let's see what.
How exactly do you plan on extracting anything?
Oh, she will work as collateral to get the information we need from all those goblin scum.
And Norris clenches her fist. She's very upset.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't think there were goblin scum. As a matter of fact, I think if you lay one hand on that goblin girl, you're going to have trouble with us too, because we're about to team up with old date rape over here and whip your ass.
So
All
you
right.
all will be traitors too, eh?
Oh, we'll be traitors when we whoop your ass.
Alright, so let's roll
That's
some
some good
initiative.
Some good tradition.
And just to remind you about like the sort of layout of this room, it's the largest room in the castle. It's probably about 100 feet long and probably about 80 or so feet wide. Most of it is empty space because most of the sort of benches and chairs are along the outsides of the room. Like past Elgort's desk towards the far wall, there's like these two giant stained glass windows.
Yes.
And there's like a giant painting of the Grand Duke in the center. And the painting has like these this weird feature of like it has stuff that juts out of the painting, like sort of to make a sort of 3D effect, like has like these big curtain like things that come out of the painting, like robes of the Grand Duke and everything. And they go all the way to the ground. And along the sort of ceiling of the room, it's a very, very high ceiling, like about 20 feet high. And in the sort of kind of space up there, there's like 3 giant chandeliers being held up by the normal sort of ropes that they use to pull them down and light the candles on them and everything like that. And yeah, and you guys are sort of towards the kind of opening, like the door you just broke down, sort of the front of the room there. And then the 3 other knights that you're now adversarially towards are kind of right at you, right next to you. And Benedict has already pushed his way past you and is moved towards the center of the room towards Elgort and Maxine. So I guess let's roll some initiative, and we'll start
I did just
getting
now.
this whole. You did yours already?
Yep.
It may look like I
I don't
rolled
know if you
2,
heard me
but that was just a
cheering, but
practice.
Oh, okay. So Inward, Inward's got a 5. You got a 23.
Let's see, I have to
Start
get
doing some bookkeeping.
So at least we know we can cut the chandeliers down. If shit hits the fan, we start getting our ass kicked, huh? Since it's a wood structure and the chandeliers are holding candles.
Yeah, if you can use them to your advantage, definitely.
I still have 2 daggers, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you have 2 daggers and a longbow.
Are we all rolled?
Yeah, if you guys are all rolled now, I got to roll for all my guys.
Oh, yeah.
Lucy.
All right, and so Enora, you're going to go first. And the closest person to you is Callum.
Nuts.
And so basically it's a roll for attack to see if you hit, and then roll for your damage after that.
That's Locke?
No, that's Enora.
Sarah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I'm rolling for damage? Okay, hold on.
Well, you'll roll for attack first to see if you hit,
Okay.
and then then you'll roll for damage.
Trying to run before I walk. Am I attacking? Wait,
The closest person to you is Callum, but you also have a longbow, so you can technically attack whoever you want. But also remember that, these 3 other knights are right in front of you, so you might want to think about whatever you do pretty carefully.
I think I want to use my daggers, and I want to slash some. Wait, they're fully? Are Are they fully like dressed with their chainmail and stuff?
Yeah, basically, the Callum, he's closest to you. He has an AC of 12. Burgess, the barbarian, has an AC of 12. He's probably the next closest, and then Thelian is a fighter, AC 16.
Okay. I'm trying to find my attack. So I'm gonna use both of my daggers. So I'm surrounded by 3 people. I can at least try to attack 2 people. So 1d4 plus.
I think you only get to attack one person. I think we covered that last time.
Wait, no.
Even though you have 2 daggers, you get the attack on both daggers, but yeah, you only get like the one that you can.
Oh, well. All right. Well, I'm still gonna use my daggers since they're. What's his name is close up.
Callum, the cleric.
Yeah, Callum. I'm gonna use my 1d4 plus 3. Do I do the 1d4 plus 3 twice in a row?
It would you still got to roll for your hit, so you'd roll a 1d20 and then plus your dexterity, since this is a dexterity weapon.
Sorry, thanks for being so patient.
Oh, it's all right. Like, you guys have been super patient with me, like losing my place in the fucking story twice and all that shit.
You're like our god right now, so we.
Yeah, so you don't hit. Yeah, you don't hit him. Like, basically your knives just kind of glance off of his chainmail.
Son of a bitch.
All right, and next in the order is Locke. And Locke, you're standing pretty much right next to her, and so you have pretty much all 3 of them you can hit with your longsword from where you're standing. And Burgess is standing right in front of you, Callum to your right, and then Thelian to your left.
All right. Well, I'll just go ahead and engage Burgess since he's got the heaviest armor, and I should be able.
Well, the heaviest armor is Thelian, the fighter.
Thelian, then. Okay, my mistake. I meant Thelian. Locke just draws his longsword, and he's got a 2-handed grip on it to get a little damage bonus there. But let's see. First, we'll roll for attack. And then let's see. Which modifiers do you add on top of your kind of
attack? If you're doing like a longsword, you'd use a strength modifier.
Well, for my first for the attack roll, not the damage roll.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You'd use your strength modifier for that.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Well, so much for that.
All right, so
really shitty luck tonight.
Again, like your sword just glances off of his mail, and then now we get to Callum gets his first strike here, and he is going to attack Enora.
When do we use proficiency bonuses?
Those like go on to like in your weapon stats. Like if you look on your character sheet, like that's
okay.
What kind of boasts that? Yeah.
Gotcha.
As long as you're proficient in whatever weapon you're using. Granted, like you could find some weapon on the ground that your character's not proficient with, and you just wouldn't get that extra bonus. But
right.
Yeah, you guys are proficient with everything that you have so far. And yeah, Callum does not hit Enora. Like he swings his mace and just misses, and then it moves on to Thelian, and he is going to attack inward because he's standing right in front of him, and he hits. Definitely does. All right. And let's see. He's about to F your life up, and he hits you for 12 damage.
Dang.
Lucy.
What am I sitting at for life now? We were
Let's see,
recharged.
you're at 20, and so minus 12, so you're at 8.
Damn.
We had to all taken damage last time, though, right?
Well, after
I don't
y'all
have
fell
to-
asleep, that counts as a rest. So y'all are all back at full health,
Oh, perfect. Lucy.
except for Inward now.
It says my HP is 24.
Oh, it's 24?
Yeah.
All right, then you're at
12.
Yep, you're at 12 then. All right, and so next is Burgess. Finishing things off here. And he crits, and he is going to attack Inora. And ooh. Well, at least his attack roll wasn't great. But he hits Inora for 7 points of damage. So he swings that great sword and gets a good bite of you there with it. And let's see, that was, what did I say that was? 6 points of damage?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, all right. All right, now we're at the same time you guys are fighting. Obviously, Benedict and Maxine have engaged each other, and let's see here. Switch screens here. So Benedict makes an attack, and he actually gets 2 of them concurrently, and he smacks the fuck out of her with his flail, and hits her twice for 12 and 14 points of damage, and so she's already at like half life. And now that it's her turn,
Yeah, we gotta get the juke bot in here. That's
The
some
juke bot?
theme music. Yeah.
yeah. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And so she hits him for 10, which does not really affect him very much at all. So yeah, he fucked her up pretty good. She's already bloodied. Okay, computer, come back on. Man, is all my electronics going to be constantly fucking with me all the
Fuck, I wonder how much life that Benedict has.
You might not want to know. He is considerably higher level than you. And so you probably don't want to start any shit with him.
For the record, fighting these guys was all of your idea.
Oh, I know, but there's also kind of picking your battles is a big part of role playing. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, I mean, fucking Tara just like whipped her shit out and started flinging attacks around.
What was my idea, freaking? But it was because they were talking like they're about to pull some Guantanamo on some kid or some shit.
Hey man, it's the Middle Ages. Who gives a shit? What happens in the Middle Ages stays in the Middle Ages.
So now we're back for Enora. Are you ready to whoop some ass? Also, remember what you know about your surroundings too.
Yeah. You guys think we should collect the kid, fucking drop the candles and get the fuck out of here?
Well, the kid right now is like hiding in the corner, like because you guys have like engaged in fighting. Like he's let her go, but you know she still can't really get away. But yeah, she's just hiding and trying to keep from getting hit by all of this stuff going on.
I mean, it's up to everybody else. But is there an evade with that kid or something? But then we won't have any information. I think I've already fucked up a conclusion attacking. But
well, just remember what you know about the room.
Can you describe it to us again? It's the candles, right? The big thing.
Well, yeah, there's the big chandeliers on top and everything, and you know, like, do you guys want to start making some strategic moves to try to, you know, get those things to work in your favor? It's Enora's turn right now, so Enora, what do you think you want to do?
She got knocked out by the last hit. She said that she would totally.
Oh, she's
Tara,
muted
you're
right
muted
now.
I don't know if I've been trying to talk, but you're muted.
I was totally talking for a long time too. You guys
like,
were
man, these guys are
talking
just dicks.
with me.
It's just like, why are you
No, you
doing
guys were like talking with me. It's so funny. Oh my goodness, that's such a long time I was on mute too. That's embarrassing to me because I know what I was saying. Yeah, I would like to. I would like
cussing us out?
I was sitting here like, yeah, guys, like let's try to get the little girl. No, I want to see if we could create a distraction and get her. And like one of us could distract them and the others could go get her and like run out. So yeah, I'd like to try and knock one of those chandeliers down, either on one of their heads or just
so
down.
You want to try to like. You want to try to pull them towards where they would be standing under it and you wouldn't be, right?
Yeah, there we go. That's perfect.
Okay. So why don't you do a, let's see, what would be a good roll for that? I guess roll deception.
Okay, yeah,
so
I'm like yelling at him
to get
your small and all that.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Oh man, I have a -1 on deception.
Like as far as let's say like ground play tactics go, I'm not sure exactly how that works in like just a audio only story. Like, is there any way we can kite people or like get aggro and like, you know, corral them, like get them to follow one person or some shit? That's
what I'm trying to do right now.
That's what she's trying to do right now. Yeah, she's trying to do a deception check on
yes, and I rolled
guy.
very badly.
Okay.
Okay, a 6, and then
Wait, oh, never mind.
Because it's not a normal like check. Because basically you're he's gonna have to roll too for a saving throw against it. And I just got to open up his thing. Let's see here. Oh, and who are you trying to kite right now?
I was trying to get all of them. Like I was trying to like distract all of them, and I was like calling them all little dicks and all that, trying to get them to follow me.
All right. Well, basically, how this is going to work is you can focus on one, and then like you know the other two. You know, if they choose the same strategy, can do the same.
Okay. Then was Callum is his name, right?
Okay. Yeah, he's closest to you. Let's see. And what did you roll for that? 6?
Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't budge. Like, so like you've been talking shit, but like, you know, he really doesn't seem to care. But you still have movement and you still have an action. So would you like to attack him?
Yeah, might as well.
Because we'll call this like in this sort of deception, like a minor action there. And so
I'm trying to look, just kind of like looking at my stuff really fast. See. So I see that I have acrobatics is one of these things. What if I were to like jump up and get a hold of the chandelier and like kick him in the head? Would that be possible?
well, if you were to jump up off of him and grab the chandelier, the ceiling in this place is 20 feet. And so the chandelier would hang down another maybe 5. And I'm guessing you're probably only about like
5 feet.
You know, 5 feet,
I need
a
like
little bit more.
skills right now.
And so you would not be able to hit him with your feet while swinging from these chandeliers. But if you got a high enough perception roll, you could definitely jump up off of him and grab it. I would give you those alley-oops if you rolled right.
I'm trying to think of what I'd be able to do when I'm up there. Maybe I could knock the candle on it like over.
What if you jump up there and grab onto it and all the hot wax spills on you because you put it off? Wait.
Well, that would mean I would.
I'm not gonna be dealing out hot wax damage. I can tell you that right now.
You guys, you don't.
Maybe he would deal out hot wax embarrassment, though.
You don't have to commit to using the chandeliers in this instance. It's not like
He's not close enough for me to get the wax on him. So I'm just trying to think of what I would do when I'm up there. So sorry, I'm just kind of trying to make sense of make this make sense before I do it.
Well, we want you to be under the chandeliers, and then we can drop the chandelier on his head.
Yeah, so I guess I'll wait for another turn on that one, and right now I'll just attack him with my longbow until one of us can get them under there.
Do you want to move around at all too? Because you still got movement, and like if you're right in front of him, probably the longbow is.
Yeah, I think
probably
I'll go
not the greatest tool to use.
Yeah, so I'll go a little more towards the chandelier. I think all of us should start kind of going in that direction, even if we can't.
So you're moving towards the center of the room, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to start moving towards the center of the room, and even without like distracting them, to kind of move the fight that way. Hopefully, my teammates will go that way.
All right.
And what's the plan between the 3 of us? Are 2 of us going to run to the center and try to grab aggro, and one's going to do some backflips out and go cut the rope? Because the rope's on the side of the room, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to roll my longbow attack, right?
You'd roll your d20 plus your dexterity.
That's 3.
I just read here that all attack rolls are plus dexterity. I don't know why I thought like some of them had strength, but yeah, like to hit is always dexterity, and then your damage would be off of whatever modifier you get.
Oh.
So did you really just roll a 6 there? Yeah, you miss.
I really just did.
Yeah, you run back a few feet and you notch your arrow and let it loose, and it literally just sails off into the wall somewhere. All right, and so now it is Locke, your turn.
Okay. Well, I forget, did anybody attack him? I don't think anybody did.
No, you're still at full health.
Yeah. Okay, well, Locke kind of seen what what was Tara's Aora? Was it Aora or
Enora?
Enora. What Enora is trying to. He gets the gist of what she's trying to do, and so he starts backing up while keeping his longsword in a guard to force it so that it forces if anyone wants to engage him that they'll have to advance underneath the chandeliers.
Okay.
But otherwise he effectively disengages.
Oh, okay, so you just use movement this turn?
Yeah, just movement.
Okay. And then, now that brings us to Callum.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
And he got a critical miss. And so he was trying to he was trying to kind of close the distance between Enora and you after you moved. And so he tripped and is just like fallen down prone. And he is under the first chandelier at this point now. And so now it is Thelian's turn. And he's gonna move towards Locke, and so he's going to engage you too. And he rolls a 10, which is not gonna do it to hit you. And so like he pretty much like when Callum falls in front of him, he just like can't quite close the distance enough to get a good swipe on you. So you're good this turn, and now both of them are under the chandelier. And now it's Inward's turn.
Chris?
Oh, he might be.
I think that's his kid.
Yeah, he might be doing some making a babysitting role right now.
Gotcha.
So that was like, just to let you guys know, I have not faked any rolls yet. So there's been no plot armor yet, and like so. The first round didn't go too well, but so far the second round is going pretty good for you guys, seeing that like you didn't even hit, but now they're both in a very bad position.
Yeah. Are you using the
No, I'm using
roll?
my actual dice and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would just take so freaking long to be like throwing my crap into there. It's like right now I'm having to use.
Roller, it's always either a super high roll or a super low roll. There's like no in between.
Yeah, there hasn't been much in between yet. But yeah, like I'm having to bounce between like 2 different apps on my phone, and the one app is like got all my enemy character sheets on it. So that thing is a pain in the ass to have to navigate while I'm doing this. And then like also like my actual notebook where I'm like keeping track of all the fight information. And then the freaking stupid computer here that keeps on messing with me. Like, oh man, this has been like, I'm like sweating having to keep track of all this stuff.
Are you on the road right now?
Yeah, I'm in like just east of the Twin Cities.
Oh, okay.
In, Wisconsin now.
Nice.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. So basically, it's your turn, and because of a bunch of shitty rolls on the part of Callum and Thelian, Callum is prone on the ground underneath the first chandelier, and Thelian is like standing underneath it, and both are sort of unaware because they were trying to engage with Enora and Locke, and so it's your turn.
And everybody else is clear. I can go try to cut that one down.
Yeah, Enora and Locke are not underneath it.
Nice. Do I need to roll anything to cut the rope, or?
Well, you would describe
how you would cut it.
Yeah, you'd need to kind of.
Do you have any kind of
you got enough
weapon?
movement to get to the rope, and then yeah, you'd have to make a check to make sure you can do it.
Oh, okay. You're talking like
So- Basically, yeah, you run over there and make a I would guess that would be a
Well, if you're just gonna cut it right at the source, it would just be a strength attack, wouldn't it?
yeah, just a strength test would be plenty. And it's not even going to be that high to cut a rope with a sword.
Gotcha. So a D20 plus my strength modifier, pretty much. Or?
Yes. Actually, well, a strength test would be. Let's see. I think it's 8 plus your strength modifier. Or is it an 8 or a D8? Oh, I hate looking up rules on the fly. Just roll the damn D20. Or you got a 5. That's plenty. You cut the rope. It falls on Callum and Thelian, and they have to make dexterity saving throws. And so first I'll do Callum. He does not make it, and he was prone anyway, so like he would have been at disadvantage either way. And then Thelian, he does not make it either. You have crushed Thelian and Callum right there. So now you only have one other enemy to deal with now.
Suck our dicks, bad guys.
All right, and then as this goes on, another round with Maxine and Benedict, and Benedict has knocked Maxine unconscious with his barrage of attacks. He gets 2 per turn, and like she's donezo. And at this, Maxine has fallen. Elgort gets up from his desk, and he shouts, let's see, lost my great time to go to sleep phone. All right, I could have just thought of that. Well, yeah. So Maxine falls. He stands up at his desk and he yells, "Varga, help!" And just then, one of the stained glass windows just all of a sudden shatters everywhere, and this giant wolf, like that stands about 12 feet high. It's basically a wolf that's the size of a horse, and I mean like a big horse. And this thing just jumps in through the window and then engages with Benedict now that he's, has fell Maxine there. And now we go back to the top of the order with Enora. And the only of the knights that you guys are fighting left alive right now is Burgess.
No, Tara, you're muted again, just in case.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was actually doing something and I heard say, I was doing and I was like, oh shit, I gotta go. But I was listening. So a fucking wolf, huh? That nice curveball there. It's only because we were winning. This was America.
Well, it's on our side.
Wolf. Yeah, that
wolf
it's
on our side?
Cool.
Yeah, the wolf is attacking. It's trying to save Elgort. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I apparently wasn't listening as good as I thought. Okay, and he's attacking who?
Benedict.
Yeah, the wolf has come in to engage Benedict. He hasn't had a chance to attack yet, but it has just jumped through the window and kind of changed the tide of battle a little bit here.
Okay, so we have one guy left. And where's he at in relation to us?
He is basically where he was when he entered the room. So he's still right near kind of the entrance to the room. And you guys are about, I guess that would be about like 30 feet back from the entrance. And let's see, you and Locke are standing right by where the big chandelier just fell, and then Inward is over at the wall where the rope was.
Okay, I don't think we need any fancy theatrics to get him. We just need to attack him. So I'll get him with my longbow.
All right.
Oh, Chris, I was just looking up the ability check stuff, and it says you roll a d20 plus the ability modifier.
Oh, okay.
And then
So
I'm doing I'm doing dexterity roll.
Yeah, it'd be 120 plus your dexterity, or 1d20 plus your dex, for your attack.
Okay. Woohoo! I'm learning.
All right, that's you're definitely gonna hit this guy. Let's see what damage you do.
And that's the here.
It'd be a 1d8.
It's actually written out for me.
Yeah.
1d8 plus 3. Let's see.
All right, so you sink that arrow pretty much right into his shoulder, and it's still like just sticking out, like it didn't go all the way through. It's just fucking gnarly looking and sticking out of his chainmail there, and he took 7 damage.
Take that. What did he?
I'm the ones who are get donuts. I got my
All right, and so at this point, the wolf has now made his first attack on Benedict, and it hits, and he bites Benedict for 12 damage, which in the grand scheme of things is still not a lot for him. And now it is, let's see, Locke's turn.
Alrighty. I was wondering if I'd like to try and make like a quip. See if I can convince this guy to give up.
Okay, so like an intimidation check?
Yeah. Presume I would roll. Let's see. Where's my? That's 1d20. I think I got 1. All right. 1d20. 19. Bad. Finally getting good rolls. Will it work?
All right, and so what is it that you're actually saying to him?
All right, well, Locke starts advancing on the last guy, and with his sword at the ready, sort of a low guard. He says he sort of jerks his head towards the 2 guys pinned underneath the chandelier, and he says, "Feel like giving up yet? You're down 2 guys, and we have a wolf."
All right, and so he being, a knight like he is, he's not exactly going to back down, but he gets disadvantage for his next attack. And he just is like kind of, you can feel hear a quiveringness in his voice, and he's just like, "Fuck off." And then
I can still
It's,
make an. Can I still make attacks after that?
Oh yeah, you can still make an attack for him. Yeah. So you got enough movement left to get around the chandelier and get up to him, and so yeah.
All right. Let's see. Case. In that case, Locke just advances the final few feet, closes the distance, and takes a swing at him with the longsword. And 5. Oh no, let's see. First we've got to roll for the attack. That's wow.
Oh, critical fail. Okay, so you run up to him
Okay.
to swing your longsword at him, and like you get snagged on the chandelier that's in pieces on the ground, and you just kind of trip up and fall prone in front of him. And it's Inward's turn.
Dice are harsh, mistress.
All right, and we're all engaged on the what's the last of the 3 knights still?
Yeah, Burgess. He's a barbarian, and he is.
Freaking dice gotta ruin my badass moment. Ugh.
He's got 17 health left.
I'll go ahead and try to advance him. I'm a little bit further away from him. Can I still move to him? And
yeah, you got enough movement to get to him. Yeah, because you're still in that kind of third of the room.
Gotcha. I'll try to hit him with my longsword. See if I
think I may have to invest in some physical dice of my own because this is bullshit.
So, yeah, 19. Yeah, that definitely hits him.
All right.
And which weapon are you using? You use a greatsword, don't you?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think that's a 2d6 plus 3.
Yep.
Or wait, 2d10.
2d10.
What the fuck? It says hit.
It's either a 1d10 or a 2d6. It's one of those. I don't remember which one, but it's definitely not a 2d10 at like second level.
Word. Yeah, it's weird. That's what it says, the hit dice on there, but I know I've always used the
hit dice
2d6.
is like the amount that you can recover, like in short rest. Yeah. So like you'd have to scroll over a couple of pages and you'll have like okay, great sword, yeah, 2d6, and then you add your modifiers onto it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you got it there. All right, and so yeah, you run over. You had just seen Locke fall down, and you're able to scramble over there and just like get a good nice freaking Babe Ruth swing with this mighty sword, and you get a good chunk out of him. All right, and so at this point, Burgess's turn. So he is going to attack you since you're right in front of him. He's at disadvantage still from the intimidation check, but he's still got a 16, and so yep, that hits you. And he has a great sword as well.
Ow.
And he has rage as one of his feats, and so He's going to add +2 damage to whatever I roll here. So, D6. So it's 11 damage. You are at 1 hit point now.
Holy fuck.
All right. And before we get back up to the top of the order, it is Benedict's turn with that wolf. And he does... Jesus Christ, 20 points of damage. He's fucked that wolf up. And the wolf now has like...
of damage.
He's like way past bloody. And yeah, like he's out of commission, but still like breathing. But his breathing is now like labored. One of his legs is broken. And then also on Benedict's turn, he has... Where's that move? He has an extra action that he can take once per day. And he's going to use Second Wind and heal himself. And his ally, which the only one left is Burgess, for 8 points.
Fighters can heal people from across the room?
Yep. Actually get a pretty high level once you get Second Wind, which I think that you have that already.
Yeah, I'm a fighter.
Since you're level 2, yeah.
Yeah, I have Second Wind, but not that version.
Yeah.
I have bitch mode Second Wind.
And so puts Burgess up to 11 points of HP. And now, actually, before I go back to the top of the order, Benedict is going to have something to say. If I can thing here. All right, Varga has just been quickly routed, and he's just laying there with labored breaths on the ground, and Benedict says to you three, "It doesn't have to end this way." And he's walking towards you, and he's decided to give you all, like, you know, one more chance to side with him and to remain as Red Shields. And the first order he gives out, he instructs you inward to finish off the wolf with one of your javelins that you have strewn across your back. What do you do?
Can I ask him a question?
Yeah.
What's your intentions with these people? What do you intend on doing with the people here?
I follow the orders of my master, as you're supposed to, as knights.
And if those orders just happen to be killing innocents, would you still do it?
Orders are orders. It's not my job to judge who is innocent and who is not.
You guys want to revolt or no?
We're not joining him.
You don't
So,
want to join
like,
him?
at the same time that the N-word is trying to decide whether he's going to, you know, throw his javelin or not, he also tells he turns to you, Honora. He's like, all you have to do is dispose of the goblin girl.
Can we trick him into thinking we're going to do it and then do something crazy?
I mean, that's up to you guys.
What can we do? He's
can
clearly
always
out of
just
our league
run.
fighting wise, so I mean,
Yeah.
we have to do something other than just attack him. Gotta be smart about it.
The last order he gives, he turns to Locke, and he tells Locke, finish off Elgort.
Locke finishes off Elgort. Huh?
Running is always an option, guys.
Is it?
I mean, it's better to run than die, right?
Yeah.
So as you guys are, kind of contemplating this and just remaining silent, he's walking over towards you with purpose, and Burgess, on the other side of the room, is kind of just standing there and just almost like they're kind of communicating with their eyes, like they kind of are on the same sort of playing field tactics wise, and so you can tell that they're thinking about doing something, and so you guys will have to make a decision pretty quickly here. And at this moment, Benedict is right dead in the center of the room.
Vertigo picks up, or N-word picks up a javelin and throws it at the wolf.
All right, and what happens? Are you going to make a roll for that?
Oh.
Are you actually trying to kill it, or are you tricking him into thinking that you're killing it?
I don't know what you guys want to do. Do you want me to try to distract him? We'll try to take off, or try to grab the girl at least and get the fuck out of there? Or is that even not?
Locke is going to book it. Whatever you guys can do.
All right, so Locke, you're running out of the room.
Well, I'm waiting for.
You would have to get through Burgess to do that.
Waiting for Chris to make his move because it's not my turn yet. But I'm just letting them know.
This is kind of a suspended, kind of out of battle order sort of thing right now.
Okay.
So don't worry about too much about the battle order for this little kind of segment
gotcha.
here.
Well, let's see if I want to do that.
Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention at this time too. So that first chandelier that you guys knocked down, the fucking candles went everywhere when that thing hit the ground, and a bunch of them rolled all over the place and shit. And they have lit several fires in this place, and so with the amount of time that's gone by since that turn a couple of turns ago, the fires are starting to spread.
Okay, well, Locke and then manages to gets back to his feet, and he looks back over at Benedict, and he says, "I was a mindless killing machine once. Those days are over." And he decides to turn, and he runs to over to the where the little goblin girl is, and he picks her up, and he's gonna try running out the door.
All right. So make a athletics check for that.
Nice. That's gonna be. On dice, don't fail me now. Also, well, I don't know. I can take the. I don't have to specify that I'm going to take a secondary action at the beginning of my turn, do I?
I don't know. Tell me what you got planned, and let's see how.
I mean, it was depending on how fucking poorly this goes. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it worked.
All right, so yeah, you grab Gretchen and you are able to get past Burgess. And so you use up your movement. You're clear of the room. You're outside in that sort of grand hall area, but you're still not like out of the keep itself.
All right. I'll just let that be
And
my
then,
move now.
So yeah, that was your turn there.
Inward's gonna try and make a break for it as well.
All right. Well, you're still on the other side of the. Oh wait. Yeah, you're still on that side of the room, so yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
It's Enora that's still kind of like towards more the middle of the room. She's the closest one to where Benedict is.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I should cause a distraction. Can I? Should I throw a javelin at Benedict, or maybe I'll try to cut the other chandelier down?
Yeah, why don't you make a roll to see if you can hit your target. Also want to mention, you guys start to like hear this noise, like a sort of whoa. Okay, well yeah, you hit the cord for the chandelier and it falls on Benedict.
Oh fuck.
And let me roll a dexterity saving throw. He got a 4. So yeah, he is crushed by the chandelier.
Oh fuck.
And at the same time, the fire's spreading. You can hear this noise now coming from outside that sounds like a bunch of yelling, and then this like constant like beating like a drum, and like you instantly recognize what the sound is. It's the force that's been on its way to sort of lay siege to this castle, and they're right outside the walls of this little sort of Mott and Bailey castle here, and they're beating their shields with their own weapons, and yelling war cries and trying to scare up anybody that might be mounting any sort of defense inside. And it's only you guys that know that there's no sort of defense whatsoever. And so
and
this army was on Benedict's side, right?
Yeah, they were Benedict and Lord Drake's forces.
So we're probably in trouble.
Well, you're still wearing your uniforms. You only have one witness that knows what's going on.
Quick, Locke, put on Benedict's clothes.
Well, that's going to take a little time.
Yeah, so you still have Burgess to deal with. Enora, do you want to try to, do something here? Keep in mind, his master is just like, unconscious on the floor under a chandelier. So something that might not have worked earlier.
But he doesn't know that. And he doesn't know that we're, not on his side. So we can be like, can I try to trick him into thinking that he's somewhere else so he doesn't walk in on him, on the floor, passed out?
He's taking a dump right now.
What? No,
Wait,
Burgess
who are you talking about? Burgess is
Benedict.
in the room with you.
Oh, I thought
Benedict is unconscious on the ground under the.
Okay, so wait, but so he doesn't know. He just doesn't know that we're on the other side, right?
No, Burgess has been one of the knights that we've been fighting this whole time.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
he's in the
I
room.
completely misunderstood this situation. Okay, so we're gonna try to kill Burgess now.
Okay.
And I guess I will use my. Wait, do we need to? You guys, do we need to know anything? Like, do we want to question him?
I more so want to question. What's his face? I keep wanting to call him Al Gore. Elgert.
Elgort. Well, it's still like since all that happened, you are back in combat, and it's Enora's turn to do with Burgess what she pleases here.
But I can, if you guys want to, if we want to question him, you guys let me know. or anyone, but otherwise I'm going to attack him.
For sure,
Yeah,
it's
I
up
don't
to
care.
you.
Well, we're a group, so you talk
For
about
sure.
stuff.
Where the only other thing I could think of you doing would be to try and intimidate him out of fighting, but I don't know if our chances
Can
are
we
better
try
with
to
just
tie
going
him up?
fight.
Instead of like killing him, can we try to tie him up?
Well,
the
that would be
place is
something
burning
if
down.
you basically like if you were to take him below 0 hit points, he would be unconscious, not like immediately dead, and so you'd be
Okay,
able to tie him up at that point.
So then what I'll try to do is try to knock him out instead of killing him.
Okay. And you're going to try to do that with daggers or arrows.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what I can use.
No, but like I said,
You can
if you take
still
him down below 0, he will be unconscious. So I mean, you can totally
also
do that. I was just making
attempt to
fun
just
there.
convince him to stop fighting.
There's also that.
Okay, I'll try to persuade him to stop fighting. He's clearly like outnumbered, and we just whooped some major ass. So, is it
How many
deception check?
chandeliers do we have?
Well, it'd be an intimidation check at this point.
Intimidation check. Okay. Dang it! I have a -1 on that one. So hopefully I roll well on this one. Oh well, that's not too bad.
What do you tell him?
Getting his ass.
Look, you're like pretty much surrounded. It's the three of us. We just totally kicked, your friend's ass. Like you're alone. Just chill and talk to us and let us tie you up instead of killing you, because we will kill you.
He kneels down, places his greatsword on the ground, and then puts his hands behind his back.
Sweet.
I'll tie him up and tell him walk outside. Or no, not yet.
Don't
tell anybody what you saw.
All right, and at this point, let's see. Yeah, the fires are spreading quicker now. And Elgort gets up from behind the desk and he shouts, Gretchen, come quickly! I need to get you out of here! Get you back home! So, what do you do with that that sort of statement there, Locke? You have Gretchen, don't you, right now?
Oh, that's true. And I forget, was Gretchen the was she the one who we met outside, or the one who we met just inside the castle?
Yeah, she was the one that like took immediately kind of shining to Honora and tried to
walking
copy
up
her
to
all the time.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. What?
And you guys didn't get to experience this part, but like if you guys had went outside earlier before like knocking the door down, you would have encountered Callum finding her like riding the old cow to bring to the wolf. As her father had stated, like, way earlier in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But yeah, that's how she got caught, is she was trying to deliver the cow to the wolf.
Okay, well, since as he was running, Locke caught wind of the chanting and the war cries and stuff, so he sort of skidded to a halt, realizing that running out the front door straight towards him was probably not going to be a good idea. He runs and curses and asked the girl if she knows of another way out.
Yeah, the back. We need to go to Tangier. She just called for me.
Locke just puts her down and tells her to lead the way.
All right, and she runs like across the room, like staying as far away from all the sort of, bodies in the fire and everything. And you look over towards Elgort, and he picks her up, and she gives him like such a big hug. And then the fire now is starting to spread to those sort of curtains that were coming out of the giant painting, and but it still hasn't completely engulfed them. And at this point, Elgort, kind of opens the curtains a little bit and reveals like a passageway that's back there to escape. And then he also turns to you, and like you kind of notice that the voice is kind of off, and you've kind of noticed it for a while, but it wasn't anything in all the melee that was going on enough to grab your attention. But he says, you need to check on Maxine. And then he grabs Gretchen, and he goes through that path just as like the flames are really starting to engulf that thing. So it's not likely that you'll be able to go out that way as well.
Oh, so he didn't help us out, bastard. So you said Elgort called for the little girl, but then she said that a lady was calling her.
Mm-hmm.
So
she said we need to go to Tangier, or I need to go to Tangier. And Tangier was the tiefling, court person that you knew before.
Gotcha. Alrighty, so I'll go check on. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. What's her name with the M?
Lady Maxine.
Oh, yeah, I'll go check on Lady Maxine. Try to.
And so the options are to go get her, or if we go to help her out, then we won't be able to take the exit.
Yeah, the exit is starting to burn. So, there's still the front exit, and Elgort, sort of asked you to see to Maxine.
Okay, but there is the option of following him. I thought that the exit burnt up behind him, but we still have time to jump through there.
You could make checks to try to jump through there, if you so wanted.
No, I'm gonna go check on Maxine.
Oh, okay. And
all right.
So the other two of you gonna do the same?
Yeah.
All right. So you head over to Maxine. She's barely conscious. She's just covered in blood and extremely beaten and everything like that. And as you kind of walk up to her,
we're running. I got time for walking.
Up to her, yeah, but you still kneel down. You have one of those movie moments, where everything sort of slows down, where you can have a conversation and stuff like that. And she says, "Don't bother trying to save me. Save the younger knights. They know not what they do. There's still time for them to change their ways. The siege force is coming. They'll have no way of knowing what happened here. And just take them to the medical tent and just fade away. Just leave this place. Don't look back. There's a smaller road, a small ways east from here that goes north. It goes right back through the forest that we came through here. It's probably the last direction they'll ever think you'll have gone when they find out what happened. Northwest of the forest is the town of Greenest. Mention me to the gnome at the end. He'll give you a place to stay and cover for you if anyone asks about you. The fire's getting real bad now.
Inward
so
debates.
What do you guys do?
Inward debates approaching the knights because they might give them another errand as well. Tell them to go save their fish or their turtle.
Locke realized there isn't really much time for chit chat, so he says, he tells her, Well, you can tell us about it later. And he just picks her up and starts carrying her out, or tries to pick her up and carry her out.
All right, so you're carrying Maxine.
Yeah.
All right, and then luckily enough, you got one guy, that didn't like get knocked unconscious. He's tied up, so you guys actually have a way to save all three of the younger knights there. So do Enora and Inward, do you grab the other knights that are under the first chandelier?
Yes.
All right, cool. And as the place is really starting to come down, Maxine yells, "Go now!" And you guys leave the castle as it is burning to the ground. And just as she said, you're still in your knightly garb and everything. You look nowhere out of order for all the knights, who are already confused because they're looking through a town that has nobody in it. And so they're searching everywhere, and they have no idea what's going on. And like a few of them come up to question you, and what do you say? They ask, "What's going on here?"
A mass exodus, like somebody came here and just disappeared everybody.
Those guys, they look like they need medical help. You better bring them to the medical tent as fast as you can.
Good idea.
All right, and so you guys follow Maxine's wishes, and you bring them to the medical tent. And so she's unconscious at this point, and she had tasked you to get away. And basically, from the events that took place, she's a traitor, and you still have a living conscious witness, and those other two that will wake up and know what happened as well. So what are your plans of what to do with Lady Maxine?
Well, if there's presuming that this whole group was intent on attacking the fort, then the any kind of medical tents or whatever would be outside the fort somewhere, some
it's
distance
just
away.
outside the fort. It's like in a sort of siege, a sort of order. Yeah.
Max, Locke's sort of nods at the suggestion that we should, acknowledges whatever knight it was that told them to take, that they have to take the knights to the to get some medical attention, and he walks off. He walks in the direction of, or towards the exit of the castle, but instead of going towards the tents, he takes the path that Maxine had suggested instead.
Oh, okay.
Suddenly.
And so you still have her on your shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then what do you other two do?
I'm going to drop off my unconscious one and ask the tied up one if he wants to go with us or stay.
Good call.
He says he'll stay and that he'll also remain silent, but he can't speak for the other two once they wake.
I give him a high five and tell him to hit him on the head a couple more times and make sure they don't remember.
He kind of laughs, but he doesn't say anything to you, and he just kind of stares at you, just kind of still in shock of all the things that have just happened today.
Maybe he'll.
All right, and so I'm guessing you guys leave the area now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, and so just to kind of close things off at the end, as you guys are leaving this battleground without a battle, you just see all the fires and the weird investigations that are going on behind you as the fire burns that whole castle down. And as you continue over these weird sort of black glass encrusted bluffs that make up the landscape around here, you can just kind of see over your shoulder that the glow of the fire just kind of fades and fades and fades until you don't see it anymore. And you keep walking until it becomes dawn, and you've reached the forest now, and you're going down this path, and much later in the day, you've already taken some time to stop and eat. At this point, Maxine has gained consciousness and is still in kind of shock herself as to what all is, gone on. So she hasn't been very talkative, but just like, tells you to keep continuing on your way, the way you were going. And like a little towards the end of the day, the sort of forest path that you were on kind of opens up and you start to be in sort of green plains again for a little bit. And you see a bunch of people walking down this road, and like there's like also like a sort of cart that they're following as well, that's got several horses tied up to it. And as you get closer to the people, they notice you coming out and following them, and you notice that it's all the human people that lived at that village. They're now refugees, and leading them was Charlemagne, Maxine's squire. And so, he was working with her to try to get everybody out of town before everything took place. And so her plan worked perfectly, except for the castle getting burnt down. And so there you go. I mean, you guys got out of your first adventure here, and while you weren't able to become knights, to the people of this town, and to especially that little girl and to Elgort, you became heroes.
Oh man, that's a beautiful thing.
Oh, good. Oh, goody.
Give me a second, guys. Oh, sorry.
Chris found my kryptonite immediately. He's like, little girl is in trouble. Okay.
You did that on purpose.
He definitely did. He's got a little girl. You've got a little girl. I've got two.
You know I'm against harming wooden doors, dude.
Yeah.
And he doesn't roll on
have you three.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Since I had to quit Saturday, I really loved Saturday, but I'm glad to be here. If I had to switch, but Saturday hasn't been meeting up, so.
Yeah, is John going to be able to be well enough to play next Saturday?
Yeah, he's been
If Tim has an adventure
waiting
going
to play. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he said he was waiting to play on Saturday. I don't know if he actually initiated anything or was just waiting for someone to say something. So I don't know how
okay.
that went, but I know that he said he wanted to play and nobody played. So John's definitely well enough. So I think they should probably, or if they can, I haven't talked to Tim yet, but I had to kind of in my brain to talk to him soon about it.
That's good. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas about how to play this, but because I've played not necessarily this exact type of RPG before, but I played a lot of RPGs before, and I know I'm trying to kind of let you guys direct it, because I could direct it, but I want to see if you guys can figure out how to do it on your own. So that's why I'm not super talkative, out of character, trying to tell you guys what to do and everything like that.
Yeah, and this was probably the most lore heavy it's going to be for quite a while. There was just a bunch of stuff that I kind of wanted to establish with the world and then with your characters, because the characters mean a lot to me. So it all kind of started with me with talking to Cowart about his backstory, and so he had this thing about how he was a paladin that had this thing with the wolf where he had to supposedly try to kill it with a javelin by order of his master or whatever, and he didn't do it. And so I wanted to incorporate that, and then I just wanted to really give you guys some hooks to really kind of bring you into it and everything.
That's where I got hung up, because I was like, what's that? Sorry.
I just said it's all pretty good. I'm just really enjoying myself still.
Because when you guys just immediately took out your weapons and started attacking the knights that we were with. I was like, in turn, was like, "What are you doing?"
Well, that was the right time. That was
Okay.
like completely like what I was hoping you guys would do. Like that was my
sure.
whole thing of like the way I was writing this. I was like I'm like, look, I know that they know that Benedict is way too strong for them, and they like should know not to mess with him. But that's why I gave you the three smaller guys or whatever. But then I was like, but I also like they're still kind of bound by duty to follow his orders. And I'm like, how can I make it to a point where they're just gonna know this is the point where you have to do this now? Because like, and so I was like, okay, so then I added like them bringing in the little girl, because I know no one's gonna not try to save the little girl. I mean, come on, like.
Yeah, dude. And then like I was hung up because in the initial story I wrote that I attacked the wolf, but it was because I missed. Like, that shit got fucked up. So I was like, all retarded for a sec. Like, am I supposed to attack this son bitch?
Yeah, what I was thinking you were gonna do, you ended up doing, which was you threw the javelin, but you threw it at the rope instead of the wolf. So like, that was the perfect thing to do there. I was really proud. Yeah, the one thing that you guys did that I didn't expect was to try to like, help break down that door instead of going outside. Like I was dead sure that you guys would have tried to go outside to like, either try to find the horses or figure out what's going on, or like even I thought you were going to do it when you started investigating on how to get into that room for another way. I was like, ooh, now cool, I'll get them outside, and then they can take on just them three go and take on Callum alone, because he would have been alone with the girl, her and all that kind of stuff, and that would be the best way to like kind of even out the strength of the fight later. But nope, you wanted to take on all three inside the thing. I was like, oh shit.
That's what I was trying to get to. I don't remember what distracted me into going for the door, but I think I just decided that it was the loss to go outside, and we should just try to get, because that room was obviously important.
That's what they wanted.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what was Benedict's deal. I'm like, it's like, well, this door is locked. Why is this door locked? I want to know why this door is locked. That's why I went.
So, did any of you guys figure out Elgort's deal in this situation? What was going on there?
I mean, I have an idea.
He was rebelling, right?
What?
He was the Archbishop rebelling against.
Archbishop? Where did you get that?
I'm sorry, I can't remember the title you called him. Was anybody an archbishop in this game?
No, I mean, he was the Baron and the Lord of the castle. He was the Baron of the land and, the Lord of that castle and stuff. And yeah, like, there was something that I was kind of hinting at that I don't think you guys picked up, and I'm not going to spoil it if you didn't get it. So,
I mean, I got the impression that I got the impression that I always forget what that girl is that you mentioned when we first seen the castle. Get the impression that that's her, but I wasn't gonna like meta game it.
Yeah, you got it. That's what it was. Like, so because that's why I added in that scene the last time you'd played. She had turned into Benedict and was making fun of him behind his back.
Yeah.
Because she's got some wizard powers.
Right. Yeah, I got that impression. It was like, how realistic would it be for Locke to think of that in that moment, and all that other stuff was going down. So, and then also make a big deal out of it. It's like, just let it happen.
Yeah, and really, I'm super stoked and surprised, for you guys, because you escaped, or you ended up leaving that with saving an extra person that I didn't account for, that you'd be able to do, and like just totally caught me off guard with that, and I'm that's awesome. I'll have to rework some writing and stuff, but yeah, I did not think that I thought that basically you would either choose Maxine and leave the three guys, or you would take them and follow her orders and not save her. And you ended up doing both, because you had luckily, left that one guy alive to be able to walk himself. So that was awesome.
Cool.
Nice.
Well, that's all I got, guys.
Word.
What was that?
That's
I just said nice job, guys. Everyone's great. I really like this group. They're, especially switching over from the other group. Cage's pain in the ass. Everyone's great and contributes. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
oh yeah.